Hello, hello. I'm here today to talk about my books. So a few people have asked me what books I use and what do I use them for, and I thought it would be a good idea to talk about this before we start our new course, the Star Quest one in January, to show you how I've set myself up ready for it and what I'm going to be using. Well, I think I'm going to be using anyway. I mean, it might change through the year, but this is what I'm setting myself up to start off with. So what I've done a handy dandy little printable, because you know I like doing them, here, with 2025 on it and all the things I want to do in 2025. And then I've written in these little spaces what I'm going to use to do it. So you'll see we have where am I going to ponder? Where am I going to, process my thoughts and things like that? Where am I going to plan? Where am I going to write? Like my daily diary, that sort of thing. Where am I going to dream? Where am I just going to play and dream? Where am I going to do my quest? Da-da-da. Where am I going to play? What am I going to get artistic with? Where's my art magic going to be? And where am I going to put my learning things? So learn here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk through all the different sections of what I'm going to be doing to support myself as I do my work next year. So first of all, pondering. Now, my place to ponder is what I call my commonplace book. Some people don't like it when you call it a commonplace book because it's not a typical commonplace book, but I don't give a shit. I call it a commonplace book because it's the commonplace where I put my thoughts, some feelings, some ideas I have, quotes I find, magazine clippings that I find, recipes, everything goes in my commonplace book. So I have a new one ready for 2025, which is here. I like an A4 one, but if you're out and about and you have to take your book with you, you might want a smaller one, an A5 one. I used to have an A5 one when I would keep it in my bag, but now I'm at home a lot of the time. I use an A4 one, just a lined notebook. This is one that I got from in the UK called Dunelm. I've forgotten what make it is actually. I'll tell you. Waters and Noble. It's a Waters and Noble one. It's just a lined book, and I know that it's nice. I think they're about £7, something like that. Might be a little bit more. They're under a tenner, and the paper takes most mediums really well. So I have painted on it. I think the only thing that didn't work well on it was drawing inks. They bled through a little bit, but my fountain pen, my pencils, any pens that I used, Posca pens are fine. They all seem to work quite well. I've used gouache in it and acrylic and watercolour, and the paper's held up really well. So that's ready. That's a brand new one already. I show you, if you've not seen before, this is the one I'm working in at the moment. Now, this is mine. It's private. I don't share the pages because I want to feel free to write whatever I want in it, even if it's, cursing the neighbour. Oh, I don't actually. I don't really know any of the neighbours. Don't see many people around here. Anyway, yeah, so this is mine. It's sort of, you see, there's all sorts of things in here. I print things out. I put magazine clippings in, photos in, tarot readings I've done, ideas I've got for, this is where I write down all my ideas for the moon journals and things like that. This is my jotter, okay. So that's what I use to ponder. That's my pondering place. So next on the list is planning. Now, you know where I'm going to say. I have my Art Witch planner ready for 2025. I'm still in my other one at the moment because we're in December. But this is my Art Witch planner, all printed out with tabs for each month. Also in here, I have put my new adventure workbook, which I'm in the process of doing, and I have made a little bookmark here. Ooh, awkward. Made a little bookmark here so that I can access this easily. So I like to be able to flick back and think, you know, what's my goals for this year, you know, what things do I want to feel, how do I want to feel this year. So I've made a little notebook. I'm going to share them with you. I've also put my money magic area in here because that's something I want to refer back to again and again. So this is my big planner, and you already got a bookmark for that one. I've also got my, where are we? Moon musings in here, and I've made a bookmark for that so that I know where I am. You'll see this is when I did my reading at the weekend. So we've got a little moon musing bookmark as well. And I'm just going to show you the back of that. So that's what I do. I print out the cards that I've pulled and write a little bit more about them. And then we have the main planner. And I've also created another bookmark. So you've got 3 bookmarks today, which is I am here. And then that's where I shall put it as I move through the year, week by week. And this is where I plan pretty much everything. So whatever I'm doing with my creative work or normal appointments and things, just anything. This is my main planner. So this is where I plan. So I'll share those bookmarks with you. And you know where you get the planner. You can buy the whole thing if you want, or you can get it month by month as part of your Patreon membership. So that is where I plan. Move that to one side. So where do I quest? Right, I have made another file here, my StarQuest 2025 file. And this is where I shall be putting all my printables for the year as I make them. They'll be kept all in here. So I have a spinning wheel. I like a bit, you know, I like things that move. And I will share this with you as well because I'm going to put one of these in my magazine grimoire as well. So that's got all the different themes that we're going to be covering through 2025. So this is where my questing is going to be. So my zodiac notes are going to go here. We've already got Capricorn. And I'm going to talk about making, what do you call them? Dividers? Yeah, dividers. Does that do? For that. But this is where I'm keeping all my notes and everything as I do things. This is all about StarQuest. So this, although there's not much in it at the minute, that's going to get fatter and fatter, a bit like my grimoire, my Wheel of the Year one did this year. So that's where all my printables and notes will be going. So that's where I will be questing. Writing, right. So next is write. And I'm going to be using this. This is the diary pages that I've been sharing with you. So this is going to be my story. And this is where I'm going to be doing my daily diary. And this is something that I will be sharing with you. And we'll be doing it sort of together. So I talk about what has happened with me during the week and that sort of thing. So these will be shared pages. So they're more sort of public Art Witch diary. And that's where I'm going to be documenting my magically mundane world. So that's that. And again, if you want that, you get the pages part of Patreon, or you can buy the full lot and print them all out, which obviously I have done because I made it, you know. So next is where we're going to play. So where we're going to get really creative. So I've got my magazine grimoire ready, Stella. So I will be linking through to how we make a magazine journal by using our recycled books, magazines that we've got. lying around or that you've bought recently and finished reading. I'll show you how to make one of these, and then these turn into the really lovely fat grimoires full of lots of art magic. So I'm going to be using Stella to do some of the nice big spreads in, but also I am going to play in my little altered book, which is just a little hardback book that I started about 2 years ago, and I've already done some little pages in it many moons ago, and it felt like one that I wanted to go back to because I'd not done an awful lot in it, and I want to do some more. So we're going to be playing in a smaller way in here, just really playing. So that's what I'm going to be doing as well, and I will be showing you how to make a book look pretty like that, how to make it your own, and how to play on the sheets. So that's where we're going to play. Next is, where am I going to dream? Now, again, a while ago I made a magazine glue book. You can see obviously I had a lot of magazines lying around. So it was made in a similar way to the grimoires that we do, but instead of covering the cover with tissue and painting it and everything, I've used collage. So this is purely a place where I cut images out and paste them in my book. And I'm going to continue with this because even though I've worked quite a bit in it, it's still got lots of room. And when I sit with it, it's a real, it's a bit like, you know, you don't think about much else. It's a nice meditative thing to do. So if that's something you want to play along with, we will be we're messing about in this as well. I will show you some of my pages. So the thing is, the idea is there is no writing in it, my personal writing. There's no painting in it. There's no, none of that like having to do artwork in it. It is just collage. So I've used some of my stickers, I've used some of other people's stickers and things like that. So these pages are just images that I like. So you see some pages have got a lot on, some pages are sort of fuller than others. There's lots. You see that one has had nothing done to it. So I've got plenty of room in here, you see. It's just a collection, and sometimes when I'm not feeling really arty or wanting to, I don't know, not wanting to put a lot of effort in, this really gets the juices flowing. So I just sit with some magazines, this, scissors and Pritt stick, and I get busy and we create just nice images together. So it's a place to dream. It's my dream book. So that's that. That is where I will be dreaming, and I will be making that fatter and fatter and fatter. And then the last thing that I'm going to share with you is where I put all the things that I learn, all the little bits of information that I find. If it's in my commonplace book, but also as a way of not having to sift through my books. If there's something that I know that I want to come back to, like an idea that I've had, or a quote that I've read, or a recipe that I've found, and I want to find it again easily, I use my index card system. So I'm going to show you how to make one of these in January. Oh. This is my learning box, and I made some little dividers and little tabs on them for all the different things that I want to keep notes about. Now these aren't pretty notes. I just grab an index card from the back. You see we've got a stack of index cards at the back for me to grab, and I also keep them in the back of my commonplace book, so that if I'm writing and I think, oh, I really need to go back to that, that's a good idea, or that's a good thing that I want to find again quickly, I pop it in here. So I'll show you, like for example, let's have a look. So simple things like my home on the web, that's my website. So if I have an idea about something that I want to do on it, so I wanted to put the cut and play paper dolls. So I filled a card in with the costs of the dolls so that I knew how much I was having to pay out, so that I knew how to price them. So that went on here. And postage costs, how much it costs to post things. So again, that went in here. This is information that I think, how much was it? And I go back to it. Resources that I wanted to add to the resources bit, the books that I've thought were interesting. All about the community, which I've just recently done. The paper dolls, I have like a checklist here of the digital stickers that I've shared and ones that I still need to share. Notes for like the different ones, so if I have some ideas about what I want to do with the next one, they go on an index card. There's Bonnie Look with the little ideas of how to do her crypt and things like that. So then we've got all the zodiac puppets, and then we've got a sheet for each one. This is the recent one that I've been doing there. And let me think what else. I've got like the lists of planets that we're doing through the year. I've got some astrology bits where I actually made some cards, nice cards here. So I might, I might do some more like that. Some sort of prettier cards for in here during the year as well. I think that might be quite nice. I've got all the different runes. I've got all my notes for all the runes. So as I learned how to use them, what I would do was I would pull a rune, then I would get a card and I would find out about that rune on the internet or in books and things like that. And then I would compile notes for me, specifically the things that I thought I wanted to record, and they are on my little cards here. So I have all the runes there. So I worked with these when I was creating the, oh gosh, now I've lost my runes bit. When I was creating the rune pages for last year. I've got some, they're really little old notes as well that I made many moons ago for my runes, and that's also in the box here. So I've got some, we've got one that says oracles, and in here we've got some ideas for different oracle cards I want to make. I've got a notebook that I once did a load of artwork inside, and that's tucked in here. So I did a load of artwork one year, and that I want to make some oracle cards from that artwork. I've started one for our OM, because we're going to be working with the OM next year as well, because that's something I wanted to learn about. So I've got the OM tree zodiac. So I've made a page for each one, and as we work through, I'll make some more notes and pop those in there as well. Then I've got herbal things. I've started keeping herbal information there. Then I have my recipes, and sometimes I've just photocopied a page and folded it up, and it fits in my box perfectly. So if I'm feeling lazy and don't want to write it down. So this is a gathering. It's like a basket of things that I want to remember and things that I want to learn about. So yeah, I'll show you how to make one of those. I've made a mini one as well, because I found some mini index cards which were quite cute. So I might do that. So these are all my 2025 places, and I thought I would share that with you in case you find that one of these things might be interesting for you, and also if you want to set yourself up ready for the new year to get excited about what we're going to do. You know, you might only want to use one or two of these ideas, you might want to use them all. But I'll put that printable at the bottom, and I'll also if you're on Patreon, I'll share the link to how to create your magazine grimoire, the tutorial for that. There was about 2 or 3, I think, to create your book. And yeah, I'm so excited, and I can't wait to get stuck into these books after Christmas. So we'll see you then.